I'm finally catching up on my monthly budget reports. This is the December 2018 report, and it's a doozy. Hi friends, I'm Jen with the Budget Bounce. We use a budget to tell our money what to do, including bouncing debt right out the door. We share our ups and downs of living life on a budget and tackling a $252,000 mountain of stupid debt. If you'd like to follow us on our journey and learn more about living life on a budget, being intentional with your money, and making your money work for you, then click on the subscribe button below and be sure to tap on the bell so that you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. You can also find me on Instagram. Just look for the Budget Bounce. Let's jump into the roller coaster that was December 2018. All right, so we came in under for what we expected for income. You can see we came in $67 under. That's because Matt was out of time off when I got into a car accident at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday right after Thanksgiving in late November. So he had to leave work to come because I was taken to the hospital and all that good stuff. And then we had to pull in some money from some of our sinking funds for what was left with holidays, and also for my annual life insurance premium that I'll talk about later. And I had my year-end bonus. So, we always black out our details of our regular income here, and that includes my bonus that came in, but it did bump us to $13,180 to work with in December, which was really exciting. So let's just talk about how that all went. So in giving, we had planned on spending $810. We went over because I completely forgot about a birthday gift. So we went over by $66. The number is really big this month because this is where I'm reflecting the gifts that we purchased for Christmas. So yes, $876 is what we did in giving. For housing, where this is usually very straightforward, but this month our internet bill went up a bit. So we are now going to be paying $89.99 per month. So that'll be reflected when I do the January budget. In transportation, we were under for gas by $13, but we were over for the Traverse insurance since it went up a bit. You can also see that we had the $500 charge for repairs to the Traverse. If you haven't heard, if you're new here or you haven't seen anything on Instagram with me, Murphy came knocking on the Tuesday morning after Thanksgiving. On the full spectrum of minor accidents to catastrophic accidents, mine would be on the minor end of things, but it was the worst accident I have ever been in. There was extensive damage to both cars. The bill for repairs for my vehicle, which is a 2016 Traverse, was $14,000. It was just short of $14,000. I thought we had a $1,000 deductible and found out that we had it set at $500, which I did not remember. Because of my bonus, we were able to cash flow the deductible and then leave our emergency fund alone. So overall, we came in over by $10 for transportation with all of that going on. We were very, very lucky. Moving on to food. We came in under budget by $53. Just like with Thanksgiving's impact on our grocery budget in November, I think the cooking I did for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve helped keep our grocery budget down, since those are reflected in our holiday budget. So we did end up going over and dining out. I reviewed the entire 2018 budget because this is a place where I feel like we go over a lot. And turns out that about half the time we're over and about half the time we're under. So this is something that we can definitely be more consistent with in 2019. But even with that, even with going over there, we were under by $53 because of how the groceries played out. Here's the new Henry category. I had just paid the rest of the fees and lunches the month before, but we did have to pay for mathnasium. So this is 3 months plus a prorated month because December was prorated. That came to $1,236. And so if you didn't already watch the November one, Henry is struggling with math, and the the school just isn't able to give him the help that he needs. And so we committed to getting him into a tutoring program outside of school. And we chose Mathnasium, which is a group tutoring center. If you've never heard of it and you are in need for something like that for your child, I highly recommend it. It's already working and he's only been in there for like 4 weeks. It costs $319 per month, a minimum 6-month commitment. And so we used some of my bonus money to get 4 of the 6 months paid for. That's where the $1,236 came from. And so those are all now paid. We're paid through March. So that's what that is. In pets, we came in under by $15, but honestly, I think we spent this money and Matt just forgot to tell me that he got litter. So I'm sure it got lumped into like a grocery purchase that he did. He usually picks it up when he's getting groceries at Walmart. Overall, insurance is pretty boring most of the time, but in December, it's a little more interesting. So I have an individual life insurance policy with Prudential. It is it's a 20-year term life insurance policy that we bought right after we got married. So this is an individual policy, it has nothing to do with my employment. And so we pay that annually to keep that premium down, and I have a sinking fund for that I build up the whole year. And December is when it's due. So we pulled in the $965 and got it paid in December. The mortgage disability, that's the other thing that's different. It's reflected as going down here, but honestly, I don't think that's right because I made a change to one of our auto policies and they billed it incorrectly. So we came in $8 under because of that in insurance. In entertainment, you can see that we had our final payment for DirecTV here. So this was a partial payment of a $166 bill. It was only like, I think 3 days that we had that service and it cost $15, which is why we canceled it. And we didn't spend as much as we thought we would on family entertainment, so we came in 13 under there. All right, on health, again, we had our standard $30 that we planned, but I bought a prescription and paid for one of my counseling appointments. Okay, so moving on to extras. We had expenses with Amazon that I went over on. We ended up being under for the holidays. So this holiday line item is for non-gift expenses like groceries and the day after Christmas purchases for supplies and decor and things like that. We ended up needing to purchase some clothing. In addition to what I did in November, we had to make one more purchase. You can see I paid my traffic ticket. That was $195 from my accident in November. And then I had this last thing was an appointment to get my eyebrows done. So we came in over by $80 in extras. And crap, I forgot about that. We didn't have any surprises, so nothing in that category this month. And then in envelopes, let's see here, we ended up going over in all of them. I don't think that's ever happened where we've gone over in all the line items in this category. Matt and I both had purchases with our debit card in addition to our spending money. So these two things are cash. We pull out cash and that's what we have for the month. And we both ended up using our debit cards for some additional things. We came in $35 over and you may notice that this category looks a little bit different, and that's because I moved the kids' envelopes out of here and put them into a savings category that I added, which is coming up down below there. You can see in green. Overall, like I said, we were $35 over here. I didn't have, I remember I broke out the budget balance into its own category in November, so I didn't have any expenses in December for that because I spent a lot of money in November. Then I have this new savings category. So the savings category is where what I've decided to do is to pull the emergency fund line out of the sinking funds category and put it here along with the kids' envelopes. And I've decided to change them to savings accounts for the kids. And these are going to be like acting like an extension of the emergency fund. So I don't want to touch these unless we absolutely need to, and it would only be for things related to the kids. So if something comes up with Henry, this is how much we have available kind of thing. Otherwise, it comes out of the emergency fund. And our new balance here is $1,078 for our savings category. Then in sinking funds, we have a couple of changes here as well. So things that are gone are the Amazon, McAfee, and Microsoft line items. They were all separate here. What I did was I combined them into one line item here for the online subscriptions. All right, so I also removed the 50th anniversary fund because that has come and gone. And then most of the rest of these are self-explanatory, but I'm glad to answer any questions if you have any. Feel free to leave comments below, or you can email me if you'd rather talk offline. If you don't want to leave your comments where everyone else can see them, I'm glad to answer any questions that you might have. So scrolling down here, we have a total of $2,287 left in our sinking funds after, like the holidays was wiped out, and where's my life insurance? The life insurance went down. We put in 81, but it ended up at 931. So we kind of took a hit here because we used it. That's what it was there for. And moving on to debt, our final category here. It's so long. This list is so long, you can't even see the title. As we closed out 2018, we had both ups and downs with paying on our debts. So we had 11 debts paid off as we came into December. So that's all of these listed over here. But then I misplaced my debit card. If you watched my 2018 wins and fails video, you know what happened next, actually. When I was looking for my debit card, I stumbled onto an old credit card that we had paid off way back in March, but we had never actually closed the account or gotten rid of the card, which I didn't even realize that until I stumbled onto it. So I thought, I'll use this to get me through, because there was a lot of activity going on with the holiday purchases and everything, and I just needed to keep moving. And so I used it. The problem is, because it's something we had paid off so long ago, I completely forgot about it and didn't even realize with the hustle and bustle that it wasn't showing up in the checking account. Like, I just completely forgot about it. So anyhow, I ended up not paying it, and so now I have a balance on it again. So yeah, now it's back on the debt list. So that's this City Card Diamond. I'm going to scroll up here so you guys can see everything. Okay, also I wanted to talk about the black versus pink font for a second. If you haven't ever seen any of my videos, my budget report videos before, anything in pink is a debt that's in my name, and anything that is in black is a debt that is in Matt's name. So there are several items that you'll see that have no payments on them here, and all of them are anything we're not paying on is in Matt's name. That is per Matt's request, and he wants us to focus on debts that are in my name, and so that's what we're doing. That was a compromise that we made. He felt strongly about that. That's what we're doing. So we did get 2 debts paid off here. You can see the hybrid medical group debt got paid off. That was the final medical bill. We wanted to make sure and get that paid off by the end of 2018. So we did. The other one is this Target one here, and we had not been paying on it at all. We were hoping, this is the one where Target took him to court. What we ended up doing was we settled this debt, and we were hoping to do it for $500, but when I called, because of the court issue and we didn't make any payments after court, it jumped up a couple $100 for fees and all of that. So they started with 900. We could settle for 900, and we're like, that's not even how much it was before this whole thing. I'm so sorry about Bella. Before this whole thing started, I negotiated with him. We got it down to 640. It's the first time I've ever settled a debt, and I felt pretty good about that when I got done. And if you've watched my video, My Debt Fail, you know how difficult this was for me when I got sued by CitiCard last summer. I'll go ahead and link that up here in the corner. If you haven't watched it, it's a detailed video about that entire process from the time I got served through where we are now with setting up a payment plan. But anyway, this call went so much better than that one did. Probably because I was so much farther removed from it, and I was not emotional at all about the situation when I called. It was just business. We were just taking care of business. Exciting thing, change that we had here this month was Matt's child support. So you can see down here, we normally paid $817.28 towards that, and It unexpectedly was decreased down to $725 a month, which gives us an extra $92 a month in our budget, which was very unexpected. If they're not going to make us pay it here, then we're going to apply that $92 to other debts. So that's reflected in other months going forward. And so we paid a total in December of $4,322 towards debt, which was actually $85 less than what we had planned. But overall, we paid out $3,975 in the month of December, and that puts our total debt that we paid off in 2018 to $21,509, which is $50 more than I originally thought we paid, so that's great news. So that's how our first December on a budget went. This was so much less stressful than previous years. I can't say it loud enough. Living on a budget has changed our life, and it can change yours too if you'll embrace it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please also consider subscribing. We'd love to have you in the Budget Bounce family, so tap that bell and get notified whenever I put up new videos. That's all I got for you this time. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.